That's you ever like think of someone birthday as like a what is it? Angel number. So it's like my birthday is gonna be 14 and then the core number. That's also high. Yeah. But like 512 is somebody's birthday. They texted me at the time of their birthday. That's what it is. Whenever I type in Spanish, I always do the upside down. Because that's what you're supposed to do. I like the NYAs too, the little tilde. Man, so yeah. Oh yeah. You think I should do the plank? I should do the plank. It's like you got to get for sure. We gonna look it up on the jump intro. So it's man, it's like a lot of animes. But I play Power Games too. YouTube is like, but you been playing no Power I'm like, man. Then I play Avatar, but of course, here and shit. Dude was like, oh, you're at the tether to the void. And jumped off the cliff. They're trying to find him. He flew away. Shit was hard. Yeah. It's enlightenment. But yeah, like my shit. Everybody was shit. Plankton, everything. Yeah, this one I'm looking for. This shit on my phone, so I'm trying to do the work. This is the menu today. I prefer gifts. This shit better. I ask me, would you want to be buried with your phone? Shit. What this was about. Would you want to give it to your man? Host the girl was like, I want to give it to my mom. Significant other, their sister or brother or something like that. Here, oh, but fair. Like, I will leave certain people certain shit before that time. I'm going to blame. Check for you. This thing. It ain't right. It ain't right. For this goddamn plane, dude. I shot this shit like a minute ago. I was gonna call that whack with that black dude. It's like his hair is whack, his fit is whack, his swag is whack. That shit, it's plain, though. I wonder if they're gonna fight me playing bad. They look good. Crash Bandicoot open world fight game. I'm like, what the fuck going on? Hold on, I'm gonna look that bitch in. They be playing. They'll let you play some shit, but I done played like 30 YouTube videos yesterday, but two of them like you can't play the whole video. Yeah, so I'm like, you bring up what the fuck I play for real. Y'all playing. That's some bullshit. I'm gonna just go to that. They're gonna show me the new shit they just made. Yeah, Rumble. That's the name. Good, God damn, this shit fire. I'm pretty much giving out commercials for shit. I swear the Moto Joe, Moto, whatever the other one, Moto brother, who like the in-game claims. I swear to God. The Moto Joe, Moto Mo, I think, yeah.
I'm a real king.
I ain't got no fucking PS5. Or no
Why we use
PS4.
Miro? Well, when I draw
Shit, I think the Xbox One, I don't know about Xbox. We should connect to somebody in the phone. Yeah, I want the one where he ice cream. Yeah, that's the one I really. Like that, but damn. If you ain't gonna watch me, watch my dog. Very extreme. To everything. Well, okay. Next. That's not the one I'm trying. Yeah, that's the trying. Trying to see what. There's something. Yeah, with the ice cream. You know, YouTube is not just mental around television. Hmm. Let me play some music and tell me. It is capable of playing so start the show for sure. Other type of I was at the other Without a play on sound for that's cute. Deviant is like the same thing. Cause like deviant art, you just make art for people comment on the shit you make. SoundCloud, you make beats or you make raps and shit. But I can never fucking do comment on the shit you make. So that's what people can play with each other. With the artists, what other like artists and shit, they'll make playlists for you based off on photos you listen to them. But that's hard. But then I think that's the like the sentence and shit. But just my song for that one. Since Marvel making bullshit all the time. And Batman versus DC nigga, their last movie was kind of like it was 80s, man. I don't say that.
It's that and some more.
Batman was like 70. But the fucking name one dude. She was like,
why you look so appalled? Shit, I was trying to have a ball. Baby, I need it all. Why you look so appalled? You knew from the start this shit I was on. Trying to have a ball. Your master like Atlas, I carry the cross. My friends all think that I'm lost. The lotus is growing the marsh. Drip water like boss, the light in my pulse. Space goes coast to coast. I need a new whole shot that I do the most. I feel like a parasite, best to stay on your toes. So snatching inception, centrifugal to force. My vision, my penmanship, a magic voice. My logic and voice, the infinity stone. Give a fuck about your tongue. Crabs in the bucket, never see the throne. Upper echelon, the shit that I'm on. My Debo, your song. Bitch, I'm a dog, Wolfpack work alone. Lavender, leopard, pink panther, T'Challa. Shark in the water with Jikundo Nattles. Sung out
They
like
stole
Ra,
my
I'm a
song,
phoenix
bro.
survivor.
They made a movie about it.
I'm
That's
Zeus, I'm
terrible.
Poseidon. Feel like Leonidas. Unseasoned in my trident. Aurora type oracle, changing the climate. It's all about time. Look, I need it all. Why you look so appalled? You knew from the start the shit I was on. Trying to have a ball. Young master like Atlas, I carry the cross. My friends all think that I'm lost. The lotus is growing the marsh. Drip water like boss, the light in my pulse. Space goes coast to coast. I need a new host, shot that I do the most. Raise your challenge, little bitch, make a toast. I remove my ego, little chicken head roast. Been promoted to coast, but I ain't here no boast. You're still enslaved, gotta walk off the boat. Have faith in yourself, doubt won't help you float. Nah, fuck with the pope. That fiction he kicking is broke. This shit ain't no joke, killing bills till you broke is the story they won't. Django one chain, exactly what they don't. From dusk till dawn, them reservoir dogs, the ones dropping the soap. Embellish temporary hope. Depending on vices is how you get broke. You gotta elope, fall in love with what's above as well as below. Nothing at all is all that I know. Decipher, decoded, that luminous load. Baby, I need it all. Why you look so appalled? I need it all, baby. I need it all. All of that, you from the start. I need it all. All of that,
Unless they're all next to each other. I don't think you guys have anything next to each
all
other.
that, you knew that from the start.
I like that song.
This shit I
We
was
do
on.
like Cosmos too close, kind of nice.
I love Costco. I go Costco every
Like all the songs I be making don't come out how I be planning it. Like the ones I'm doing right now for my next project are not coming out how I wanted to. But I mean, shit, it is what it is. I don't know how
The
to
right
mix and
forces,
master.
no, I got the force, bitch. Ooh, ooh.
You gonna learn, you gonna learn. If you don't learn, you gonna pay somebody
The
else.
right forces hidden in the forest. Ooh, ooh, ooh.
You gonna pay somebody else. You know.
The right forces, no, I got the force.
I like this one that put you following this direction.
Sound, listen, listen. Ooh,
Purchase your tracks today.
listen. I'm listening. Ooh, my tongue made of gold. Fluorite and J. This venom I'm spitting got your bitch enslaved. Hey, live bitch cast away. I'm walking on water and skating on lava, my babe. Gotta stay hydrated. Stay wavy, stay wavy. Don't let people play you, man. Kindness might get still around my way. But not where I stay, where I vacate and play. Combo and smiles ain't shit, but some little bit can't trust. trust niggas' words, cause they'll just lie to your face. I look like a lick when I go to MC, man. Yo, feeble, me theory can't finesse a G. My tongue made of gold, flow right in J. This venom I'm spitting got your bitches slayed. Hey, little bitch catch the wave. I'm walking on water and skating on lava, my baby. God to these mortals, Google to the weak. Don't hang in them streets, but I bang on them freaks. Hit that G spot to that false and start leaking. Flow be so deadly, crack jokes with the reapers. Sip here with the preachers, got city girls teaching. Don't think that I'm reaching, got like a new issue. To the beat, to your spirit start leaving. Whole tongue made of gold, flow right in J. This venom I'm spitting got your bitch enslaved. Hey, live bitch catch the wave. I'm walking on water and skating on lava, my baby. My tongue made of gold, flow right in J. This venom I'm spitting got your bitch enslaved. Hey, live bitch catch the wave. I'm walking on water and skating on lava, my baby. Boy, would you?
Low key, a dude sent me this beat for free. And then he was like, yeah, that's some perfect. I was like, thanks for that one. I mean, another dude sent me a free beat. A couple of people sent me free beats. Shoot, what was his name? What was that dude? Krispy Kreme. Yeah. Octopus John. That nigga sent me a beat. And like, I knew it was a throwaway. I could tell. But I appreciate it, bro. Whenever I listen to this, I also listen to this. This also sounds trash, but I like how I
Water.
like that.
Water.
Holy shit. It's like, dude.
I'm walking on water. I'm skating on lava.
That's the problem. I have
Made me a profit. Not chasing no dollars. Affair by the hardest, they stare when they drool. Kinda like they retarded. I know what I started, the life of the party. I'm going off about CA, we in the raw with somebody dollar. I'm walking on water. I'm skating on lava. Got Buddha and Allah that made me a profit. Not chasing no dollars. Affair by the hardest, they stare when they drool. Kinda like they retarded. I know what I started, the life of the party. I'm going off about CA, we in the raw with somebody dollar. I found my collar, blowing the drums. My game is too polished, man, fuck being modest. Niggas wanna be ballin'. More niggas don't follow them, but can you lead? You sound like a fiend. Perk poppin' some lean, I might smoke some weed. But I still know when to cook in the clean, little nigga. I sound like a villain. Man, fuck how you feelin'. They robbing and killing, they drilling y'all illin'. I see in your vigor. You got shit think bigger. Ain't no G passes at the gates of heaven, little I'm walking on water. I'm skating on lava. Got Buddha and Allah that made me a profit. Not chasing no dollars. Affair with the hardest, they staring, they drool. Kinda like they retarded. I know what I started, the life of the party. I'm going on Cavassi, we did the raw with somebody dollar. I'm walking on water. I'm skating on lava. Got Buddha and Allah that made me a profit. Not chasing no dollars. Affair with the hardest, they staring, they drool. Kinda like they retarded. Party, I'm going on Cavassi, we need to rob with somebody dollar. Little man, please understand, I don't shuck a job for no Uncle Sam. Water J's with the gold chain, with the gold watch, with the gold frame. It's like a mama took a second look about to risk it all. My pops at the game, that was way back in my college days. I ain't even had no finger waves. Paying homage to my family graves. Emancipating all these mental slaves. With me once but never twice again. Only throwing hands with my ghost man. Jackie Chan when I fucking dance. Toss the steps with them touchy hands. Touch bands trying to start a cleanse. Who the land, execute the plan, man. Walking on water. Yeah, skating on lava. Walking on water. Skating on lava. Walking on water. Yeah, skating on lava. Somebody died. Yeah. Well, alright. Alright.
Let me say that. Man, like, okay. This, okay, 70. Okay, that's cool. That's nice. 7 lights. That's cute. It's that gonna be who you fully with Double D playing the little gondola shit. Pumpkin hustling.
I cannot sleep, haunted by my dreams. I don't want to work and I don't want to eat. Just want to break down some weed and freeze wet in my sheets. Cause when I close my eyes, I'm a fucking lead. I swear that this world is not worthy of me. I lost faith in God, I just worship me. The things I create to see what I see. I'm lost in the sea, it's too deep for the weed. That's just how I'm feeling, straight feeling. Shit spitting this venom, this ain't no damn henna. I'm stabbing your in this bitch, I'ma need sexual healing. I look for the Lord and they fill out prescriptions where I need a thrill and I'm missing your bitch. I stop taking pills and trust my intuition. Just because y'all Sometimes ass niggas don't get it, don't mean that my scriptures gon' quit too legit. Bitch, my flow is so mean, it's too vicious, sadistic. Best put me in ripples, no peers in my district. Y'all niggas stay hungry, but never watch dishes. I'm bored with the goals, the hopes, and the wishes. Just run me the riches, 2 cribs and 2 bitches. See, I'm on a mission, but there is no distance. Heaven is presence, it needs your permission. Patience is key, silence is the entrance. I cannot sleep, haunted by my dreams. I don't want to work and I don't want to eat. Just want to break down some weed and freeze sweat in my sheets. Cause when I close my eyes, I'm a fucking leave. I swear that this world is not worthy of me. I lost faith in God, I just worship me. The things I create supersede what I see. I'm lost in the seed, it's too deep for the weak. Don't talk to me about depression if what brings you passion ain't got your mama fucking stressing. I'm sick of the lectures, I'm over the lecture. You sound like a devil. The people around me so hurt and disheveled. I only get anxious when traffic is too slow. Don't call me to kick it, love her. Unless a choke hold you, don't flow on the floor what you want. I'm not trying to stun if a bitch put to run this shit, just not the one. Baby, patience and grace, laced with style and taste. Made me realize some ways pretty faces had me moving hasty. It's like cooking bacon grease popping. Might hate you, but I am not phased. I'm sick to a God, I'm a slave to these. I cannot sleep, haunted by my dreams. I don't want to work and I don't want to eat. Just want to break down some weed and freeze sweat in my sheets. Cause when I close my eyes, I'm a fucking leave. I swear that this world is not worthy of me. I lost faith in God, I just worship me. The things I create supersede what I see. I'm lost in the seed, it's too deep for the weak.
I'm starting not to like doing ad-libs because it be competing with the verse and the regular lyrics on the regular part of the fucking like recording. Like that shit in the back. It can either compliment and conflict with it. It can 50-50 in that
Water.
Unless I find legitimate compliment to shit. You need another beat. Like, I don't know.
Fluoride torches hidden in the forest. Fluoride fortress, no, I got the forest.
Picture I got on all my fucking flags, really. SoundCloud, it's on
Fluoride fortress hidden in the forest.
A lot of shit out there.
Fluoride fortress, no, I got the forest. Massa in his castle. The fluoride fortress kissed on Mary Jane. Man, that bitch is gorgeous off that flying lotus. Cosmogramma, this ain't for your grandma or your pastor. This is for those hoes that done got they ass or seen the light inside they vessel. That ain't stress depressed, but still a flying pressure. Shorty shining like a diamond, ain't got time for lectures. People painting pictures, I wrote bitches, can you break it down? When I come around, give me a vibe, we bout to throw down. So be like, woo, you do way too many styles. Niggas be tripping, look at my eyes, then blurred they vision. Know I was privileged, didn't need rhyme until I hit my 20s. But I was not rich, God bless consciousness. You ain't grow up with it, do it for the kids. Mind your own business, worry about me is why you lost the bitch. Attached to my hip like Lilo assist. I'm never on tip, matrix got a glitch. I never be pissed, cause this shit ain't real. The ceiling, sleep the bell. I woke up myself, don't worry about hell. I'm about to excel, don't hold your breath, little nigga excel. You about to fail, look at your future, you'll never prevail. Hard body, but your spirit is frail. Fluoride fortress hidden in the forest. Welcoming tourists that then lost their way from the source. That Mojo Jojo, come see me at the dojo. Golden lock feet and on my porridge. I feel glorious. Came a long way from the store. And what's important? I got the 40. Fluoride fortress hidden in the forest. Welcoming tourists that then lost their way from the source. That Mojo Jojo, come see me at the dojo. Golden lock feet and on my porridge. I feel glorious. Came a long way from the store. And what's important? I got the 40. Check out the hue. Purple lavender, bitch, I'm immaculate. Shorty, lather her lips with a jacket. This shit got me cackling, macking shit, converting slaves like Dracula. Sinking my veins deep into her clavicle. How wake your ass up like a rapper, cause beans I don't sip coffee, I never eat cream. Bucharest from a garlic I don't need, I'm lost in the trees. My flesh is before you, but I can't be seen. Swimming in the stream of bloom. Bitch, I'm a fool, create out of chaos. Niggas that play grandfather when bass guy, one time soup. Prove to be too uncommon, pharaoh of our time when seafood be rhyming. You know you can't doubt it, my eyes kinda clouded. I'm in Shangri-La with the towers. Train the shot and peep game on my prowess. Shut up on problems, jocking on my style, but I'm too profound. They key to the sound, adorned with a halo, no need for a crown. Close, loud, hoes, dime. Treat it like a building, I won't waste my time. Cutting me off, ain't knocking my sign. Blocking me, bitch, you out your damn mind. The intricate process infusing my grind. For setting some lights and you in the dark, bumping around looking blind. But I'm in the fine. Everybody looking up to the sky. The secret divine, just close your eyes. The Lord is inside, don't keep them confined. fluoride fortress hidden in the forest. Welcoming tourists that done lost their way from the source. That mojo jojo, come see me at the dojo. Goldilocks, D10 on my porridge. I feel glorious. Came a long way from distorting what's important. I got the force. Ooh, 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 ooh.
I always talk about my voice. I got 4 likes. That's cute. 5 people listen to it. That's 4 of them like it. To it. Let's go and shit. Just because I'm from Detroit, I gotta play this bitch.
Boy, would you?
Just because.
Boy, would you? Ain't got no buffs, I rock Timbs but not J's. This shit's in my name, it got lame. Fuck diamond gold chains, rock Tibet and my I lay my mic and purple off cookie of the little nigga. I was born at Sinai, then I lived on 6 Mile until the age of 9. Then I moved out to Redford, then on to Belleville. Now I'm in Canton, Michigan, where I rep. My grandma put me onto Benny Hannes for that shit had got shot up. Now Ichiban, where I'm at now. Wish I had, now I was signed. That Bruce Lee won water, now watch how they wish I falter. A bucket that's down on they luck, live their life saying fuck it, me mug probably musty. My lust for they cousin, these niggas is wild here, my baby stay gravy, stay wavy. Ooh, ain't got no bus, I rock Timbs but not J's. This shit's in my name, it got lame. Fuck diamond gold chains, rock Tibet and Malas. I look like I got my mic, light me in purple off cookie or double. Ain't got no buses but not J's. This shit's in my name, it got lame. Fuck diamond gold chains, rock Tibet and Malas. I look like I got my mic. Catch me in purple off cookie or I might hit 12 votes before I go to fair lane. Some niggas be lacking home training. Immaculate vernacular, man, my mouth is the manger. Make your jaw drop like you just found some news from Topanga. My record is stainless, y'all playing. This ain't the third Halo, this ain't no team slaying. Niggas be gloating that they game be banging, then wonder why they man's detained and he singing. Bars be so hard, I be dang-a-langing on these beats like they dang. 6 stones like I'm Thanos. Jordan 6 rings, old school like a Sega. How I kick my game, best to stay in your lane, bruh. Ain't got no buffs, I rock Timbs but not J's. This shit's in my name, it got lame. Fuck diamond gold chains, rock Tibet and Malas. I look like I got my mic, catch me in purple off cookie or double. Ain't got no buffs, I rock Timbs but not J's. This shit's in my name, it got lame. Fuck diamond gold chains, rock Tibet and Malas. I look like I got my mic, catch me in purple off cookie or double. Good nigga. Ooh, ooh, boy would you, boy would you. Hit the blade dance and my pimpin' stand, handle that. Ooh, 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 ooh. Ha, ha,
That was the Gears of War.
Damn, son, where'd you find this?
Betrayed Son and Locust. This made me think of the jungle, but it's just like the squid was hilarious.
Panther in the jungle, the wolf in the forest, falcon on the mountain, the shark in the ocean. I hang up in trees and pole potions. Boy, need no packers, my family global. Little nigga, my focus is luminous lotus. This nation soul since before my cell phone, little bitch to get closer to Jordan. You probably gon' need a thesaurus, but fight you gon' run this shit back for the chorus. Goldilocks gargling on my pores, flaming foliage, pass me the torch. One with the force, I'm plotting discourse like Natasha and Boris. I'm busting them guts like a gorge, speaking in tongues like she reached from the tour. Explore like Dora, but ain't no R. Kelly. My vision is vicious, the intro to belly. I don't think you ready. The look in your eyes is so jelly, little nigga. I know you in hell, got a partner in jail. Your bitch tripping cause your baby mama keep on hitting the cell. Each time that you fail, there's a chance to prevail. I move at a pace separate from my peers. Relinquish my fears, let go of my earthly tether. Stepped into the void, released and became wind. What it is? Panther in the jungle, the wolf in the forest, falcon on the mountain, the shark in the ocean. I hang up in trees and pole potions. Don't need no packers, my family global. Little nigga, my focus is luminous lotus. This nation soul since before myself. One little bitch to get closer to Jordan. You probably gon' need it, the swords. Bet how you gon' run this shit back for the chorus. Head boy, keep on hitting the wall, sounding like it's Morse code. Wind talk a hieroglyphic type flow. Like the meat ghost when I spark up the drove. My mental cocoon go on up to the moon. But Paramore, ooh, got a degree, but I ain't that astute. Bachelor status, Bruce Wayne in the boot. I do this for fun, you chasing the loot. CaeFoo to one cool, tryna build me a school. Ooh, shit, voodoo spit faces with blue. Ain't shit but a tool. Finessing fools with their glam in the lure. Rich pockets still got spirits that's poor. Robin Williams, Mac Miller, and more. In the piece is the ultimate score. Not just with the world and yourself, there's a war. Panther and jungle, the wolf in the forest, falcon on the mountain, the shark in the ocean. I hang up in trees and pour potions. Don't need no packers, my family global. The nigga, my focus is luminous lotus. Business and soul since before my cell phone. Little boots to get closer to Jordan. Probably gon' need it, the swords. Bet five, you gon' run this shit back for the course. Ooh, panther in the jungle, the wolf in the forest, falcon on the mountain, the shark in the ocean. I hang up in trees and pour potions. Don't need no packers, my family global. Little nigga, my focus is luminous lotus. Business and soul since before my cells form. Little bitch to get closer to Jordan. You probably gon' need it, the swords. Bet five, you gon' run this shit back for the course. Know it. Run this shit back for the course. Know it. Bet five. Run me, mama. Ride.
I fucked it up when I said it in another song. Just that same shit, the panther in the jungle. Wolf in the forest, falcon on the mountain, shark in the ocean. This is Space Ghost Kurt. Yeah. This was a long intro.
Fire,
Water, earth, air, space, time, light, darkness. Fire, water, earth, air, space, time, light, darkness.
Lavender, leopard, blowing trees, dancing. Crimson wolf, forest, ninja, clan shit. Golden falcon flying through the galaxy. Jade, shark, wave, guy, river, sticks. Lavender, leopard, blowing trees, dancing. Crimson wolf, forest, ninja, clan shit. Golden falcon flying through the galaxy. Jade, shark, wave, guy, river, sticks. I was not my lap is infectious, it gets short as naked. Suck my dick, bitch, rep my nuts, tastes like Nestle. Dead or alive, what I play if not taken. I just got Sekiro, Gears of War, Cinco ho. I don't pay for features, I just steal beats and CaeFoo got his reasons. Bitch commit treason, get changed like the seasons. I feel like a demon. Lyrical Lucifer, fools and stupids. Designer the movement, the game I spit gruesome. Ain't no dream deferred, my nightmare's too lucid. Animation, music, fashion, and booted. What it take to move me. Fooling cool and swear celebrities are stupid. Recorded this shit at my living room. Playing the Xbox, do bad bitch coming through. Hit the booth, knocking boots. Fire, water, earth, air, space, time, light, darkness. Fire, water, earth, air, space, time, light, darkness. Fire, water, earth, air, space, time, light.
The belly dancers be up here at the hookah bars. They be trying to get me to dance. I'm like, you play me, I'm gonna dance. You play your shit, I'm gonna dance.
The leopard blowing trees, dancing. Crimson wolf, forest, ninja, clan shit. Golden falcon flying through the galaxy. Jade, shark, wave, guy, river, sticks. Lavender, leopard blowing trees, dancing. Crimson wolf, forest, ninja, clan shit. Golden falcon flying through the galaxy. Jade, shark, wave, guy, river, sticks. Pass me the hookah. The school, you wrote the second verse of John Wick #2, bruh. Baba Yaga, every beat get construed. Boogie man live his life like a movie. Third eye, pineal gland open, just like the sins diamond over my vessel. Skin diamond flexing heifers like pretzels. Me and Messiah, dread-headed devil. I've been burning bridges, drop bombs, Hiroshima. Say singers believing. I look in the mirror, I shower, I clean up to tell you the truth. I still feel like a demon, the devil, whatever. Lyrical Lucifer, cadence too clever. Speak on my name, taste don't leave you disheveled. I'm on a new level. Y'all niggas best catch up. No losses, just lessons. All wisdom accepted.
Ooh. I like that. I played that yesterday.
Ooh, bitch, ooh, yeah. Bitch, alright, yeah, alright, yeah. I'm tripping that poison, I'm drooling that venom. The flow is so cold, climate in December. Bad bitch on my arm, you know she a 10. Open like pineal glands, give a fuck about no scenes. What's up? Shit on that post and I needed a cleanse. Shit on them hoes, I needed more friends. I wasn't focused on collecting bands. Bad bitches, fat ass, sativa, we strands. Me and the devil be throwing them hands. Operate like a wizard, I'm running the clan. Your recipe keep on coming out bland. Don't bring that shit round, don't fuck with them scams. I'm tripping that poison, I'm drooling that venom. The flow is so cold, climate in December. Bad bitch on my arm, you know she a 10. Open like pineal gland, give a fuck about no scenes. Being Being a lyricist made me a therapist. I feel like got a nigga say I'm arrogant. Blood on the freeway is how I get clarity. Still watching SpongeBob, shit is hilarious. Game got a whip that constricted like Larry. My crown is too heavy, no mortal can carry. Ain't no comparisons, bitch, you embarrassed. Spitting that sauce and kicking that kerosene. I'm tripping that poison. I'm drooling that venom. Ooh, the flow is so cold. Climate in December. Ooh, bad bitch on my arm. You know she a 10. Open like pineal glands. Give a fuck about no scenes. Ooh, at all. I'm tripping that poison. I'm drooling that venom. Ooh, the flow is so cold. Climate in December. Ooh, bad bitch on my arm. You know she a 10. Ooh, open like pineal glands. Give a fuck about no scenes. What's up? What's up? Ooh.
I'm trying to get better at saying all that shit. Cause they be like, I be fucking up like the same sometimes, and it don't sound good every time. Practice. I don't think we're gonna make it stop. No, what's hey, playing. I might look at some Muji. I ain't checked out my dog Muji. Let's see what you're talking about. I wish he would be soccer. That would be cool. They could talk about stuff. Never be rejected. Be at peace, even with the chaotic mind. The profound guided meditation, the boundless ocean of meaning. People be like, ask your boyfriend to read this out loud. See what we know you can do. This is what it's over. I hope they ain't gonna flag me for the emoji, bro. If they flag me for the emoji, I'm just gonna skip this episode. I need my website. I'm working. Believe.
Well, I would like that you sit inside this
Like,
open,
what is he
this
using
open
to do
space
this?
within you.
Because I be trying to talk to 20
You
people at
talk to
once on
me
a group chat.
quietly,
Like, that would be hard.
clear,
Twitter
natural.
just be spaces. Like, you can't see people. Like, I want to see motherfuckers.
No thinking is required. My aim is that somehow in sharing like this, my words will be within you like space, simply subtly guiding, reflecting back the space of emptiness that is our natural, that supreme consciousness, without being hustled by the mind. The pure awareness is never hustled by the mind. And may that become even more dazzlingly clear. Thank you. Perhaps I may read something just to set the mood a little. From today, maybe from Ashtavakra Gita, we look something. I will begin actually with the sound of the bell, and at the end
This is
we'll
some
also close
philosophical, spiritual shit. They like give me some copyright shit, but I'm like, y'all hate real. Man, there's a waking motherfuckers up. Man. That's not sorry. Advaita. Advaita. I don't know how to say.
There's a chapter that begins like this. It's called The Boundless Ocean. So,
Crank this shit up.
keep your attention resting effortlessly in the space behind the mind. your natural place. I am the boundless ocean. When I speak, you hear my words, they pertain to yourself. They're not opposite to you, they're not somewhere else apart from you, they're merely of your innate silence. I am the boundless ocean. This way and that, the wind blowing where it will, drive of the world. But I am not shaken. I am the unbound deep, in whom the waves of all the worlds naturally rise and fall. But I do not rise or fall. I am the infinite deep, in whom all the worlds appear to rise, beyond all form, forever still. Even so am I. How wonderful. I am awareness itself, no less. The whole world is a magic show. But in me, there is nothing to embrace and nothing to turn away. Oh.
You said there were moments for a second. I'm gonna go back on the base.
You're here.
But if you like, it's that you went down the version. Yeah.
The term here implies that which is never apart from the self. You are here. You never arrived here.
You are here.
And you never leave or separate from here. Here is not a fixed point. It is unbound. Uncreated. Unchanging. Within yourself, the limitless, the world of appearances, including the sense of a personal self, appears and plays like the waves in the infinite ocean. You are awareness itself. Indivisible, imperishable, beyond the field of comings and goings. All this movement of time and place occurs within you. and are perceived in the light of consciousness.
Oh, it's 40 minutes. 8 minutes. Be like water. We ain't got no 40-minute video. But the watershed, man, these are right back in there, man. Water bending. Oh, this got 200. 240.
Life aquatic with CaeFoo, my game with this trident is too fucking lethal. Fuck all them hoes I hit up for a feature. Compare them to me and that matter seems fecal. Wait, that was petty, maybe I'm tripping. Fuck that, my nigga, they'll have a conniption. When my shit blow up, they'll be wishing they listen. But f*** my I guess that's the business. Lord Fooly just wants to refill his prescriptions. Beat up that pussy until that shit's listed. From the time that I started to now, my renditions have always been about epic stories and bitches. Them audio animes, retelling accolades. A young CaeFoo, the motherfucking magistrate. My style ain't for everybody, so I'm straight on that motherfucking annotate, masturbate. Gotta stay hydrated. You gotta stay hydrated. You gotta stay hydrated, baby. Them thirsty ass ways is just not entertaining. No need for explaining. You were at the top like a motherfucking dreidel, but now you look parched and conditions are fatal. Gotta stay hydrated. On the note unrelated, I know that my style is too damn innovative. Y'all niggas still stuck on that moving that way shit. I prefer music with each story with some complications. Give me some knowledge about you to our nation. At least make some shit I can play when I'm faded. These niggas swear that they're so motherfucking wavy, but ride my tsunami and I'll have to save you. So keep your lame ass in the kiddie pool waiting. I like to make bets with that fuck nigga Satan. When I shoot my shot, he thinks I won't make it, but I hunt my dreams like I'm Liam and taking. I'm not gonna stop till Grammy nominations flowing like flood water when be breaking for fame dehydration. You know that I know that I gotta stay hydrated. You gotta stay hydrated. You gotta stay hydrated, baby. Them thirsty ass ways is just not entertaining. No need for explaining. You were at the top like a motherfucking dreidel, but now you look parched and conditions are fatal. Gotta stay hydrated. Don't be out searching for others' approval. Only make moves if they're gonna be frugal. Not just monetarily, try to do shit that'll bring you serenity. Never change your identity just to make ends. You see, all my niggas are immaculate entities made in his image. We got holy energy. Y'all gotta stop thinking that our existence is only for penny pinching and just bitching about why your wishes never come to fruition. Y'all gotta have faith in your future, so listen. If you want something, you gotta go get it. Whether that be topping list on the Forbes or the baddest of bitches. Playing this shit gon' have Lucifer tripping. I want y'all to be more vindictive when chasing your vision. Gotta stay hydrated. You gotta stay hydrated. You gotta stay hydrated, baby. Them thirsty ass ways is just not entertaining. No need for explaining. You were motherfucking dreidel, but now you look parched and conditions are fatal. Gotta stay hydrated. Gotta stay. Namaste. Gotta stay. My niggas, we gotta stay. My ladies, you gotta stay. My family, we gotta stay. Everybody, you gotta stay. Namaste. Gotta stay. Yeah, gotta stay.
Right. Like, I'm gonna play a little side piece with it. But give me the bean. Show me the bean. That ain't what I'm looking for. They're playing. Okay, here we go. So the last beat I just played was by Hydro. This dude named Kane, he made the beat for my song, Feng Shui. But this is the same sentiment of last, and I'm about to wrap up. I'm gonna hit him up to buy it if he don't hit it back. SoundCloud downloader and clip the rest of the shit out. What you think? What we be saying, my baby? What I'm doing, shit, we got to come. Good, Javon. Freestyle of the fish on the bottom. Hey, look what I'm seeing. Leading my people. Ooh, shorty from Mogadishu. Lyrics is lethal. Niggas is CaeFoo. Hydrated, baby. Gotta say hydrated, baby. Gotta stay hydrated, baby. Shit on my face. What is the name? Shit on my face. Hydrated, baby. Hydrated, baby. Yeah, I definitely gotta wrap up. But I gotta like to get you see I can share it. But I did make some freestyles, but I don't think I posted the pictures. Yeah. Yeah. Let me see. I don't think I did. I know I was on Instagram listening to the video. Yeah, I don't think I didn't go to the television. I was talking to somebody about the one Twitter the other day. Was listening to this.
Like, you can't live your life being afraid. If my life get taken tomorrow, then it's meant to be. Like, that ain't the worst thing that can happen. Then this little nigga gonna take over. And then he gonna take over. And then whoever else is around me is gonna take over. It's not about me.
Woke up from a dream, everything the same. Life is a game, but baby, I ain't playing. I'm coming for bitches, the riches and fame. Crawl through the mud, put respect on my name. Warrior blood is infusing my lane. Gotta use a plane. Drop out on these lanes, don't get it confused just because I wear frames. Using poisonous lane. Woke up from a dream, everything the same. Life is a game, but baby, I ain't playing. I'm coming for bitches, the riches and fame. Crawl through the mud, put respect on my name. Warrior blood is infusing my veins. Can't stay in my lane, gotta use a plane. Drop out on these lanes, don't get it confused just because I wear frames. Using poisonous lane. I roll up for breakfast, see what bitches text me. Share a few memes to leave them an impression. My homegirl Kenya tryna net the session. When we link up, it's like auto and Reggie. This vibe is a wave, something you ain't catching. I started my own with this music and fashion. Niggas like passion, but I'm lacking hustle. 2 million loans from my mother, I'm smothered. Hey, asking for help and depending on others. When I go out the tab, paid by my brothers. Bitches want money, they don't wanna cuddle. DM in that cash at the third rebuttal. To thrive is a struggle, but I'm while I'm barking, I'm sparking till I am a target. The hair while I'm harking, them angels are singing. The light in it beaming, shook hands with my demon. Woke up from a dream, everything the same. Life is a game, but baby, I ain't playing. I'm coming for bitches, the riches and fame. Call through the mud, put respect on my name. Warrior blood is infused in my veins. Can't stay in my lane, gotta use a plane. Drop bombs on these lanes, don't get it confused just because I wear frames, losing poisonous flame.
Say there's a comment on there, but I don't see that much. I like this song. I don't know if it's playing.
New era.
Shout out my dog, New Era, man.
I said, empty your mind. Be formless, shapeless, like water. Now you put water into a cup, it becomes the cup. You put water into a teapot, it becomes the teapot. Now water can flow or it can crash. Be water, my friend.
Bitch, step into the dojo. Please don't take no photos. You savage in here like Komodo. I know that you love it, Han Solo. I be up late as fuck every night, no dose. You know I'm a pro ho. Surf on this noodle, then I hit it doggy, no kudo. Believe it, bitch, just like Naruto. I'm these niggas spiritual tutor. No seafood or ruler. More focused on starting the movement. If you passionate about something, pursue it. The saying is true, you don't use it, you lose it. I'm nothing like niggas that I went to school with. I got me some dreams and I'm saving my seeds for a queen that knows some money is an accessory for happiness. Become your soul master, bitch. I grew up a masochist. Every loss that I took made me activate. In the alignment, my nigga, be patient. It's all about timing. Energy's cosmic. It's all about how you vibrate. Come correct and never violate. You need a lesson, then come my way. I'm tapped in with Jehovah Yahweh. Don't get attached to problems. That'll affect your whole mind state. Be just like water, my baby. Formless greatness will surely adorn you. Hold up, this ain't even my final form. I'm all about evolution. Try my best not to take no pollution. Healthy thoughts and habits, that's the solution. The light is within me, you see it protruding. I'm overheating, I need motherfucking fooling. Emancipated, you cannot subdue me. My life is like a motherfucking movie. Come with me, you'll see some views. Fits up the dimensions, it's your witness and help you get a grip on the shit you living. The Anunnaki best to take them a listen. I'm like a distant descendant of them. Since I love them, open sesame fam. I do this for my kin that wanna awaken. I'm shaking, I'm baking, bitch. I'm a creator. No Tyler, this beat stolen. You know I ain't make it, but whatever I touch, truly destined for greatness.
I wanted to hear, what was that song? Damn. Now final form with a conversation. Let me see. Exception, concurrent, shadow. Rating. Legacy. Child. Child. Conversations is about probably think that I like that. Yeah, Ghost in the Matrix. That's what I'm about my dog, Megawan. That's
Crept out the pagoda, stepped straight through the portal, no longer immortal. First thing that I noticed, this world out of order. Had to get my terror reading from my oracle. Smoking on knockout gas, call it chloroform. Now I feel horrible, baby, pass me the bowl. About to go light the coals on my new hookah. The drip in my voice got me sounding like Jupiter. Ain't making no movies while I'm fucking floozy. We making a score, some beautiful music. My neighbors might knock on my door to defuse it, but baby girl fuseless, screaming like Phoenix. You know your boy Cyclops because I can't see shit. Blind like Venetians, not to be facetious, but I'm Zazzoichi. Gambling, rambling, damaging, causing calamity. Don't be running your mouth like Yosemite, busting your guns in the stratosphere that don't enamor me. You wanna challenge me, lose all the vanity, become more valiant, let go your sanity. Then my friend, you've entered my realm. When you look into space, see the same in the cell. Realizing love is the heavens and depression's hell. Leo in the matrix, major in the shell. I was that nigga that balanced the scale. Beat the brakes off that pussy like that shit was frail. Read between the lines like my silence is braille. Opponents get sent running, tucking they tails. I like a Jezebel, completed caramel. Flexible like Wessel Pretzel peddler. Numbing them jugulars, do not no cuddling. I ain't that snuggle bear, I'm Ursa Major. Smoky in the forest, purple park ranger. Most of busting rhymes, I am the new danger. Wither you away with the snap of my fingers. No Thanos come round here complaining and we'll probably flame you. Roll sessions be heinous, don't get it twisted though. This picture I'm painting only for descendants that come from the manger. Manage that anger, made that melancholy bullshit a stranger. Life was a bitch whipper with a cold hanger. Say get me this paper, backhanded Satan. You show but not pass, still going up that gas. Need cash or some ass, so you about to get left, baby girl. Ain't no discussions left, cause young CaeFoo ain't pressed. You fuck with the rest and you settle for last. Yeah. And you settle for last. Yeah.
Now I'm on this money conversations.
When you talk to the gods, you must come correct. Yes. When you talk to the gods, you must come correct. Yes. When you talk to the gods, you must come correct. Yes. When you talk to the gods, you must come correct. I swim in the Nile and the Mr. Commit. So I never fret to parlay with the Davis, you must have respect. Ascend to dimensions most can't comprehend. I'm doing my research to up on the end. I won't be surprised, enjoying the ride like a man. See the point with both hands in the air. See fans will never be scared. I want my fam ready, CaeFoo, I was scared when Titans and Tartarus leave out the belly and try to cock block your way into the heavens. I want all my Davis to hold up their weapons. Destroy these demons till they are decrepit. Trust that the trickery is ineffective and won't manifest, cause I know we protected. Go CaeFoo, the teachers shall never be bested, because under pressure come cool and collected. It's how we finesse them. My labial speech ain't progressive. My mind is the biblioteca. Life is a game and the board kinda checkers. Jump on their necks or just plot and finesse them. All the defectors I reckon like tech. When you talk to the gods, you must come correct. Yes. When you talk to the gods, you must come correct. Yes. When you talk to the gods, you must come correct. I swim in the Nile in the Mr. Commit, so I never fret. Bang. Fuck a Black Panther, this lavender leopard, then been to the Mecca. Kinda like thought, these emerald tablets could never be bought. Embedded in my mind, can never be lost. Y'all lacking, I'm blacker, but no need to floss. Seaweed, I'm chief, and it's kinda like moss off that thing from the swamp. Womp, she don't do what I want. Well, bitch on my arm, queen of the swarm. I don't let her power have limits of form, cause when the flesh gone, we still quiet storm. The shit that I'm on, I bet you can't fathom. Arabian Nights and born, I'm Aladdin. Death is a gift, bitch, life is a challenge. Most of these niggas be so full of manners. I live got a callus on glaring and squinting at the motherfucking back. Ooh.
I like these songs. Like, I don't like the verse no more. The second verse, I guess. But the first verse was cool. I really like the chorus the most. The chorus is my favorite part of this. And the beat hard, too. The beat is beautiful. I love this beat. I wish I could redo it. Like, snatch the chorus and just rewrite everything.
I look to myself like a star in the night. Far away, but I stay close to my mind. Avoid of illusion while ignoring time. Try to manifest myself into the divine. Darkness surrounds, but I'm still gon' shine. I yearn for my prime, but hadn't realized that right now was my time. I thought this shit over. Used to believe that Jehovah was my body cover. I call upon him, he send me emojis. Every moment is a message decoded. Words cut like a Tyler, no need to reload it. You're just a character, not the whole story. I look in the mirror and I see something foreign. This vessel nothing but the bus I'm on touring. I'm soaring, people the decorum. Trying to keep my ass up out of them forums. People don't even know their final forms. Flashing lights seem to freeze up the forms. I go with the flow, sound the A like the forms. Hair made of wool, skin color bronze. People forsake you when you're not a pawn. Their expectations make you think that you're wrong. I weather the storms, all the eye and the twister. Gotta have bigger ambition, conviction. Depicted in this picture can't be done with stencils. Forge your own path, for the blueprint set by your predecessors. I want the world and won't settle for lesser. Why be the best when you can be a blessing? Who can you test while in your head you stressing? Fucking impressing, not just plain exceptions. Pick up game, hope you catching interceptions. Small imperfections can lead to depression. Let go of the pressure, see it's ineffective. Anxious by the future that you can't catch up with. Focus your sight and the Lord says, let there be light. I look to myself like a star in the night. Far away, but I stay close in my mind. Avoid of illusion while ignoring time. Try to manifest myself into the divine. Darkness surrounds, but I'm still gon' shine. Paragon, bitch, the paradigm. Paradise, parables in every line. Biding my time till harvest is ripe. And the seeds of my work manifest in the light. Me and you different, you grind for the shine. All of them years you was living like slime. Probably wondered if there was a God, cause all around the love hit a drop. Gunshots was the primary sound. Sedating bitches was how you got them down. Played to niggas, now you look like a clown. I ain't holy, ain't no saint or profound. I just know the difference between it and loud. All of the smoke don't give niggas a crown. No church in the wild, top dog ain't a hound. Wolves in the forest don't enter the pound. The head of the pack looks over the crowd. I cannot be fouled, that shit ain't allowed. My family's watching, got to make them proud. This tape was too preaching, just hit my SoundCloud. No more questions, slick wink with a smile. Presence is prime, the serpent's your spine. Declutter your mind, meditate for a while. Let go of your ego, the rest will be fine. And the Lord said, let there be light. I look to myself like a star in the night. Far away, but I stay close to my mind. Avoid of illusion while ignoring time. Try to manifest myself into the divine. Darkness surrounds, but I'm still gon' shine. I yearn for my prime, but I hadn't realized that right now was my time. And the Lord said, let there be light. I look to myself like a star in the night. Far away, but I stay close to my mind. Avoid of illusion while ignoring time. Manifest myself into the divine. Darkness surrounds, but I'm still gon' shine. Darkness surrounds, but I'm still gon' shine. I yearn for my prime, but I hadn't realized that right now was my time. Right. Let there be light. Let there be light. I look to myself like a star in the night. Right.
Let's go to Instagram because I wrapped over this fucking Noah BB and all that. But it was many bro. So to the phone. This was today's meme. This was yesterday's meme. It was really right on the first day. Go your earth and 7 against the glory of deep down. That was what's it called? Man, it was a minute ago. Okay, maybe not. I'll just post it. It takes it for August, maybe. Bang. Ain't no goals, I got no more operations or constant present, special. That was that purple bullshit. Keep on. Damn. One to come. Okay, I think that's what he's saying.
The waves coming out of my core. It was a calling coming from the Lord that I had done well, but I could do more. At that point in life, living seemed like a chore, but my higher self kept note of the score. Old keys don't open new doors. I can show you the way, but you must walk through. When God sends a message, it's certain you'll get it. Ain't no way you'll miss it. Put it off for too long, and your life will be shitty. You start to see signs in your day-to-day living. It'll force you to pivot. Running in place should give your ass the shivers. It's your crime to waste your existence, falling short of your true potential. I just ain't with it, I gotta keep winning.
One more time.
It was a feeling I couldn't ignore, like a ripple of waves coming out of my core. It was a calling coming from the Lord that I had done well, but I could do more. At that point in life, living seemed like a chore, but my higher self kept note of the score. Old keys don't open new doors. I can show you the way, but you must walk through. When God sends a message, it's certain you'll get it. Ain't no way you'll miss it. Put it off for too long, and your life will be shitty. You start to see signs in your day-to-day living. It'll force you to pivot. Running in place should give your ass the shivers. It should be a crime to waste your existence, falling short of your true potential. I just ain't with it, I gotta keep winning.
Okay. The bubble butt, and then the backstand. That's hell of me. I got goggles and shit. Take fucking fucking. Knuckles my neck about Knuckles and me. She guard. Batman, sign Knuckles chair. Baby Hill Shadow. Side time. Ladies. Tangle nigga and shit. SpongeBob, White Boy in a Sonic costume. Buddha, Tia Korean, some butter Nikes, bread Nikes, Batman demon shit, some skulls and shit, some melanin daughters, Batman night shit. You get your heart. Dark Maul. Oh yeah, I'm gonna show this to you. I'll send you some Twitter. Yeah, that's your heart. That's custom colors. I don't know how he did the eye part. That's your heart. Talking about like options.
Cybertron, for the sake of the Matrix, you cannot merge with Megatron. Secret Action, Empire already. This is wrong, Megatron. We are all but fragments of the Matrix, which releases each of us in order to struggle, evolve. So when we return to it, it may grow and evolve. Thus do we serve the Matrix, not just by battling, but also by acquiring knowledge, wisdom, and experiencing love. Knowledge, wisdom, love. Am I supposed to occupy my mind with trivialities in the face of ultimate power? Is that the only ideal you serve, Megatron? Megalomania? You serve Optimus Primal? The law of the jungle? Survival of the fittest? Are those your lofty ideals? No! Try to resist! For the good of...
You know, Optimus talking about words of the Matrix. I don't know about it. Building struggle, jingle, further experience, and we go back to God, all that. Getting exposure, you know? The way God is like a puppeteer. It's like, if you ever heard of Akhenaten, fucking Egyptian mythology and shit, I talked about Akhenaten on this bitch. Mm, bro, that was so fucking. Let me see if I can find. Let's see. Let's see. It was like maybe 2 years ago, a year or two ago. I'll tag my dog Billy Carson. Let's look at this. This Billy Carson for better knowledge. That's real chosen. He was on TikTok and shit. He on Instagram and YouTube. That's Gucci. You looking at Billy. That's Sagu. You know, like they both. You know, these where the mouse go. These four be on Facebook and Instagram and YouTube. He be on all that, but Facebook as far as I know. But he be on TikTok. That's Kevin Wesley. I hit him up for like a consultation kind of thing to get popping with this fucking social media shit. It was cool. We chopped it up for like an hour. It was nice. But then I got that was like $100. Like it cost like 300 for like a mentorship kind of program kind of thing. And I'm like, I'm considering it. Cause yeah, I want this to be my job. Like I'm trying to get on and get paid to exist for more cool shit that I did in my life. And yeah. Looking for motherfucking I cannot. This movie, The Island, was cool. If you ever see, it was this Netflix movie that reminded me of it, but I don't remember what it's called. But this was a hard ass movie though. Ewan McGregor, Scarlett Johansson. It was on like this. They were living in this society, but it was like in the mountain dome kind of shit, facility kind of shit, and they didn't know that it was an outside world. And on the outside world, people were just living regular. So going to the bar and shit. Like it was a nigga that came into the facility that left and had a house on the outside. And they was like, what the fuck going on? Bro, like Ewan McGregor was a clone of somebody like that dude like donated. Like he just will like they'll kill the person that's in the facility and replace your consciousness in their body if something happens to the main person that donated their DNA for that. Like yeah, Scarlett your body like that's Mifundishi. How you say his name? Mifundishi? Yeah. He was talking some comedic spiritual shit. I fucked with it. You know, like I'm gonna say this. Like I said, I'm a manifest me. A light skinned woman with dreadlocks. Yeah. And my friend was like, "You picky," and I'm like, "Okay, if she like caramel with dreadlocks, I ain't." And if she dark skinned, cute to me with dreadlocks, you know, I ain't gonna be mad. But, you know, side rocking with Wapala with the locks. Gorgeous. Like Aaliyah was bad, shit. Left Eye was bad, shit. Something like this, yeah. Zazie Beats cute, That's like my celebrity crush right now. Not too light, not too dark. In the middle. I just say that because I'm about that girl. I ain't super light. I ain't super dark. I ain't super none of that. That's controlling. This is Tory Bricks. I guess I got a type again. I did like the Blue Ranger back in the day just because I like Triceratops. Like, I really wish it was purple or black Ranger. So that's that. Okay, whatever. A shorty keep them. Frida Pinto, I think she Indian. She cute as fuck. Yeah. Like, I didn't talk to white girls in my past, but ain't much happened from it. Like, I had a three-way once with like a mixed girl and a white girl. I just hit because it was there, but it wouldn't have been something I was doing on. But I wanted the mixed girl. She was calm. She was nice. That was interesting. Something like this, some thick, nice titty, like dreadlocks, or like a frappe on the face. What's up? Smoking something. That's what it is. I like we'll do some mummies. It is, it is. I did have a dream where I had an Asian girlfriend, but she was away. That's why I lost it. This shit. These clothes be fucking dissipating on each other. Breaking it in half. Right? What's this shit called? Outcast. What's this nigga? Hayden Christensen. Nicholas Cage and some Chinese people. Loki, I think that's the shorty that played Mulan in the Disney live action movie, actually. But the shit was cold. She was like an older sister to that one nigga. And like, they needed protection because they older brother had like killed their daddy, who was like emperor over in China somewhere or some shit. He was like a warlord or some shit. He had power. And like, just like in Britain or some shit, somewhere in here, for Nicolas Cage, and they was winning some war, and they was like, okay, we doing too much. We need to let these people go. Hold on, kill everybody. I'm like, no, I won't do that. He just walked off or some shit. Started doing the fucking Last Samurai. Tom Cruise, like, yeah, I'll regret doing that shit. But then he kept fighting for some people, some shit. I got my juice. Fucking archives and shit on. Shoot tomorrow, bitch, yeah. Just cause.
Tight, but it doesn't bite. Whip it right. He be like, yikes. What's the hype? This is something light. Yikes. Yes, it's tight, but it doesn't bite.
That's my type, man. Shit, yeah. Man, that's the only way. Oh, Lord. You got five on you. This is old shit, bro. Oh, God, that was struggle times. Lord. Yeah, I'm posting wild shit on Grand. Batman with black Batwoman and she black and shit. Like when I posted it, I tagged Akaman in the shit. But it's like how many people posted about that nigga since it's like I would still have to search through them shits if I would tag. But Gunman with the weed nigga, okay, bitch, I see. Damn, it was this far back? I ain't seen that bitch yet. Tory Bricks and Windows. Scan Diamond. What is that? I got nothing, bitch. Papa, my favorite TV show. But the way I'll have to watch it on my TV, period. That's five elements ninja. Blade Runner. Grand. Buttercup. Penny Proud. Daria. Jane. Bro, where the fuck is this Akana dimension? I lost this guy. I might have to just say, like, saying, hope with the fucking, I'll check like this. Jackie Chan on fucking Martin. It's cool. Flapjack, my shit. Future with the Trunks. It's a little Asian kid. Mm. I probably passed it. Damn, I've been showing Billy Carson for years, nigga. She wanna see a diamond. Calypso, Calypso. Fall off the line. What's her name? Vixen. Vixen for Storm. Man, I ain't seen this damn Pokemon yet. It ain't showing me. I'm looking for it. We're going through the damn. Going through the trenches, man. I might have used this picture. Maybe not. I don't think so. I don't even remember. But this is what he looked like. He believed that he had a different name first, but he changed it to Alkanat to be like in Alkanat worships Aten and shit. But like the Aten was like it was like a sun god, I guess. But it was like the source kind of thing. It was like the creator of everything and it touches everything. So it had like you get enough I'm gonna do the like its rays touch everything, everyone, everywhere. And that's God pretty much. You know, I fuck with that. So yeah. I had a song called my team too, but I played it. I don't think I put it on SoundCloud. Let me start. But our team had to go. Bubba bullshit. That bitch bad. Suck with this ass. Yo, I don't know what the fuck. It was like a lamp case. Yeah, that's what that is. And when you light it up, it light up the room. But when I just seen like the side of that bitch, I was like, oh, that is hard. I love that. That was real cool. Hotel Square, whatever. We was kings, nigga. Yeah. I got a couple of Hotel Squares in it too. Looking at your 2009, 2010 Facebook post, looking like, oh God. How many of us live in ASAP now? Um, um, Jay Electronic. All these videos dark as fuck. And some additional. Jelly again. Um, let's see. Um, so what's this? Face. Yeah, it was after them. Um, the fat as hell in that bitch. What is this? I'm talking on it. That's nice. This is our team.
Y'all talking sounds like schnitzel, straight up rider. I can't afford Prada, but I know that I got the Matrix game unlocked. I know about God, bruh. We in the simulation, that shit basic. People, ideas, and places are tomato. Y'all talking about nada. Y'all sound just like.
Yeah, you can see why I ain't put that joke. It was a low ball. Wow, why the I-10? Why the academic? That's terrible. This isn't fair. Academic. He believed in the son's like God, aka the I-10, because of the life-giving effects it gives off. Other Egyptian gods destroyed because he proclaimed his God was the only one relevant. He was seen as an extremist, but I'm looking at his messy metaphorically like carpe diem sees today. I'm seeing God as the possibilities we're able to achieve. If we're living in a simulation, God is the creative options. We're allowed to customize. Two step.
I'm ready. I'm ready, man. Bitch, give me here till I bust like confetti. I'm just being petty. Got too many contacts inside them. I need to delete it. Said red pop, Fago by the 2 liter. I'm not that conceited. Them edibles had me defeated. I can't even eat them. I'd rather smoke weed, hookah, I'm a fiend.
Man, this ain't even the whole bitch. Bruh. And then there was this one called, it was after I went to Atlanta. It was while I was in Atlanta. Yeah, this was Atlanta. That's a picture, so it gotta be this one. No, that's Diamonds and Dozens. What the other one? The fucking, Tuka Hashishim. This one. Yeah. Shit, still shit.
Bitch, I'm tripping that poison and drooling that venom. CaeFoo so get it, I ain't got no feelings. Model riding with me, my dick in her innings. You know this shit hitting raw paper or switching. I don't give a shit, bitch, you know I am lit. Too legit to ever put it to bits. One thing about boots, make your ass shit forget. I don't put up with shit that insults my spirit. Crush out the pagoda and see the katanas. I'm dripping that poison, the bitch off the swallow. I'm drooling. Baby inside her, just like you're the Lucas, a dog with no collar. You know I'm the bomb like my name was Osama. God is love, bitch, that hate ain't a promise. Point they suggest a petty ass scholar. My lyrical powers, a Babylon tower. Woo! Yeah.
Nobody make a good one. Go to the top. Fuck it, we just won't scroll. Latin and jazz and anime. Ty Lee. Fucking, Professor Farnsworth. That's Dr. That's Dr. Weird. That's a nigga gonna say something. I ain't know his name. Mike. Yeah, that's cool. Done. Yeah, I keep trying to go up, but it can't. Hold on, I gotta do it. I say gonna have look like Wallow Bill. Yeah. Killer Kung Fu Workers. Don't know. I gotta make this sexy ass bed to live central. Yeah, man, a couple of that. Wow. People always be like, SpongeBob that even Nickelodeon says SpongeBob that. I'm like, okay, he married Sandy. And Patrick was like trying to pull some hoes, some mermaid bitches. Why y'all do that? Y'all playing. No, if they gonna flag me for this, but they should be trying. It's that fucking hero movie. Zangy and Maggie Chung, I think. Yeah. Yeah. Ooh. 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 Yeah. Yeah. I was in a rap, nigga, like, ooh, like, for real, they cut the beat off on me. Oh, shit, this is a bitch up. This hoe laughing. She from Rush Hour, I love her.
It was so foolish what you did.
House of Flying Daggers is my shit, too. I don't think I got that. This was cool, too. Oh, Lord.
好剑法，可惜你心惊意乱，无畏剑者，凤凰涅槃，尚可重生。弃剑吧，休想！
It was cool. It was another, like, what was it? Whoa, Wanja? Rendition that wasn't Jet Li. It was a different dude. See. Hmm. Shit. Yes. The Uzi and the Peso Peso.
I mean it.
Rumor has it, Holly, that you had annoying visitation at the Slash Club last night.
It was just a mind slip. Nothing special. It's real. I mean it.
Cool world. Brad Pitt in the cartoon world. That's cool. I want to play them Uzi. Peso Peso song. Not them. On YouTube. Keep checking about copyright.
That there
shit
is
all the time.
the central self. You can call it God, you can call it anything you like. And it's all of us. It's playing all the parts of all, wherever, everywhere, and anywhere. And it's playing the that there is the central self. You can call it God, you can call it anything you like. And it's all of us. It's playing all the parts of all beings whatsoever, everywhere, and anywhere. And it's playing the that there is
Shit, that's awesome. I mean, I'm sure.
As far as ancient astronaut theorists are concerned, evidence that there is other intelligent life in the universe has already been found on every corner of the globe. They believe Earth has been visited by intelligent beings for thousands of years, and that it most likely began during the time of the ancient Sumerian kings. Khorsabad, Iraq, March 23, 1843. While excavating for archaeological treasures, a group of men led by French scientist Paul-Émile Botta came upon the remains of a huge Assyrian palace, and within it, an abundance of Sumerian cuneiform inscriptions. When translated, the inscriptions told of what archaeologists believe to be the world's oldest civilization, and a group of beings called the Anunnaki.
The Anunnaki was a term of the gods used by the ancient Sumerians, but the original form of it simply meant the sky people. It meant those that were connected with the stars. The Anunnaki were seen to be givers of civilization to mortal kind, and they are described as having these shining eyes and having a radiance and an otherworldly feeling about them.
Based on 30 years of studying the Sumerian cuneiform tablets, in 1976, author and researcher Zecharia Sitchin published a book called The 12th Planet, in which he proposed that the Sumerian gods were, in fact, refugees from another world. According to Sitchin's interpretation of the tablets, these alien visitors, the Anunnaki, created humankind.
It appears to be that gods came down and literally started a colonization project here on Earth, creating us in their image and after their likeness. It also might stand to reason then that they've infused us with the desire to then spread this colonization project beyond Earth.
I think if you look at what we've been doing in our space program, it's a blueprint for what may have happened here a long time ago with extraterrestrials. But I think we're on the same path.
We're beginning to understand that the Anunnaki gods that were actually ETs could be still out throughout the universe. That we could now, as we are starting to head out into space, be encountering the prime intelligence that originally had civilizations on Earth and were working throughout this solar system.
Hey yo, I am the living, breathing word of God, like the Bhagavad, derived from the Wadabi tribe. Listen, all my earliest written texts you can find them in the desert on the scroll of ancient papyri Egyptian. My code different from the status quo. I got UFOs hitting in my genetic catacombs. Me and my associates run up on your pulpit, spitting oceans with liquid gold dripping from the mandibles. I'm a star seed out the far east, off the deep end, like a beacon, lighting up your face with my ink. Secure my place, I can see it. Got your basement all out of shape, tetrahedron, Lord. These kind of gems they can't afford, so they can counterfeit them seeds to fill the mountain void. Can't to break the chain with 24K of my anecdotes. Now I got the whole planet surveying for my vantage point, bird's eye.
That's right. She called T-Rex thing. I don't know.
And they're passing the knowledge not just randomly at the kings, but at the back of their brain, at their pineal gland. Okay? Not only that, but they each have. So each of the Anunnaki, the holders of knowledge, have all the knowledge, and they're passing the knowledge to each one of these individuals, which isn't really each one. It's just supposed to be symbolic representation of balance, right? 2 and 2. So, but notice, very importantly, neither of the kings or priests have pine cones, and neither of them have handbags. You see that, Rex? They don't have all that knowledge that are passing it. They're passing the way. You see that? They are showing the way. In the center, you have the tree of life with the Zoroastrian symbol at the upper part that they're worshiping. All of balance in creation here, okay? They're worshiping it, and they're showing, they're paying their homage to it with the knowledge of the kings and the priests. So really what you have here, and you get to jump in, Rex, this is basically the Anunnaki creating civilization, creating everything, passing the knowledge down to bloodline kings, Nephilim kings with bloodlines to right back to the Anunnaki themselves. That's why they're the same height as they're depicted in the Deuteronomy about the conquering of all those giants like King Og and all those. Those were all just ancient Anunnaki bloodlines that were not supposed to exist. That was the whole point of that deluge in the first place, was to wipe out those genetics of these kings that could live for thousands of years and had the genetics of the Anunnaki. Because really, these kings and priests depicted here, they're gone. There are none of those left. There are some bloodline connections left with some royal families, but none of those Nephilim individuals are left now. And so they were wiped out. But this is showing you a depiction from the past on how kingship was lowered from the Anunnaki of bloodline descent to rule over all of civilization. They are the ones to basically be at the hierarchy, this hierarchical system of control designed here for control over everyone. Go ahead, Rex. Starting with the pine cone. Notice how each one of the Anunnaki have a pine cone.
7. I'm gonna listen to the Foundations, and I might escape them. It's good. Yeah.
Are souls incarnating down here. Some people say that you incarnate down here to learn a lesson. Some people say that the fact that you're able to incarnate down here, you have to be a master because it's so difficult. This is one of the most difficult realms for the spirit to manipulate because it's a space-time continuum. This is one of the hardest dimensions to exist in. So every soul that has to come down here, it's a blessing to that soul. Just to be able to come to a time-space continuum like this, just to experience and manipulate this matter, you are a master. And that in other realms, they admire what our spirits are able to do down here. So it's like kind of different. It's, you know, some people say the soul is a prisoner of the body. You messed up, so you had to come down here because you messed up. Some people say that in the fact that you came down here, you're already a master. Because it's so difficult. It's so crystallized. It's so quote-unquote solid. Which one is it, Infadishi?
Okay. I really appreciate that question. And let me get to the root of that. That's a little backwards. So a lot of people are backwards in that thinking process. Let me explain something. I'm going to go back just a little bit. When you're in the womb of your mother, you're in the 4th dimension. When you come through that birthing canal, when the water breaks, you descend. Not ascend, you descend into the 3rd dimension. You're upside down. That's the beginning of being upside down, inside out. Do you understand that? You come into this world upside down, okay? All right? You're in the 3rd dimension. That's height, depth, width. That's what we see here, feel and touch, okay? So now the child when he learns his lessons, he can ascend back to the 4th dimension. The 4th dimension is where your ascended masters are. Your shaman priests, your high priests, the people who manipulate energy. They're still in their physical body, but that's a 4th dimension. Now, you can't go to the 5th dimension inside of your physical body. But your consciousness can go to the 5th dimension. When you dream in the fifth dimension. How many people, everybody be at least victorious in your dream. I know in my dream, Superman ain't got nothing on me. Okay, all right? If you get beat up in your own dreams, then you in bad shape. Okay? That's a fifth dimension. Now, the masters are able to go to the fifth dimension, retrieve information, and bring it back to help common people who are in 3D lockdown. 3D is not the highest realm. And no, they don't necessarily admire you. So let me say this. There are free-moving, free-thinking, free-spirit beings that have a body. That's us. There's free-thinking, free-moving, free-spirit, free-thinking beings that don't have a body, that are pure energy. They only come here, Rich, to help us ascend. Because guess what? There are also third-dimensional beings here, like reptilians and other things like this, who have greater power in the third dimension and will enslave you and use you as food. So these higher dimension beings descend into a third dimension so that they can keep the playing ground kind of equal, so that we can at least have a chance to ascend. But this is what you probably got misrepresented. The reptilians and those other creatures can't go to the fourth and fifth dimension. You can. But if they keep you thinking about material, if your whole life is about getting some bling bling, getting a brand new car, getting the latest clothes, shaking your booty, if your whole life is about that, then you stay on 3D lockdown and you become a prisoner to your ego. So those ascended masters are trying to tell you, you have to be victorious to control. Haru defeats Set, but he can't kill and destroy Set, because that's the balance in there. Everybody, Set is part of you, but you have to be able to control Set. So you got to control your ego. And watch this. These are the poisons of the ego: gluttony, greed, anger. All of those, you know, those are the poisons. So when you raise your vibration, you are victorious and you can control those, right? It's like Haru M. Aketi, what they call the Great Sphinx. It means he's protecting the royalty of ancient Kemet from sunrise to sunset. Okay? Now, it has the body of a lion because the lion is like king of the animal domain. But he has the head of a high priest. So the idea is for him to ascend. Ascend. So the body of the lion, the head of the high priest. Okay? So now, spiritually, I want you to move to the fourth dimension in this physical body to be prepared to move to the fifth, to the sixth, and you become godlike. Now, nobody reincarnates once you hit those highest realms. You only reincarnate because you didn't learn no lessons. And let me say this, you don't get an infinite amount of reincarnations. You get a certain amount, and then your energy is dispersed and used by other beings.
I got a question about, you know, as far as souls incarnate.
You get unlimited rounds, man. Y'all learn what you're supposed to do. It's great. It's a different.
What did they say about reincarnation in ancient Kemet? Reincarnation.
I appreciate the question on reincarnation. I have a new book that'll be out, one in the summer and one in the fall. It's called Menchu Hotep and the Soul of the Magi. Inside of that book, I go into great detail on that. Let me say this. The ego inside of your mind creates the illusion that you are your body. Your body is just a container. You are not your body. You are your consciousness. That's why you can have an out-of-body experience, right? Because you are your consciousness. It's just housed in this body. So what we are witnessing, this is an illusion. This 3D material world is an illusion created by your consciousness. So to raise your vibration is to get in touch with your conscious mind. See, there's a veil between your ego and your conscious mind. Once you get past the veil, you realize that this is an illusion and that you are a spiritual being who have powers way beyond what people have told you you have. Okay? So they don't want you to tap into that. Now, if this is an illusion, Rich, if this is an illusion and I'm not my body, if I reincarnate, how does that make anything real? That means all you're doing, your consciousness, is going into another body at another time, having another illusionary experience. The idea, the reason why there's such thing as karma and reincarnation is because you haven't learned the lessons that you were supposed to be learning as a spiritual soul. Your soul is trying to become one with the Creator. One with the Creator. Okay? Now, it has lessons that go through. So when you don't learn those lessons, this illusion that you just went through, you got to do it again. So reincarnation is another illusion in a different body, in a different time span.
There's two different things I've been.
Alright, that might be one more thing. Two more things. Matrix videos, man. Yeah. So, where was that video? Okay, I think that's it. This one, to, this part two.
Of the one, but most strikingly, it's a reference to the torture room in George Orwell's dystopia 1984, used to make citizens conform by subjecting them to their worst fear.
Thing that is in Rome 101 is the worst thing in the world.
The fact that Neo lives in this room symbolizes that his mind is a prisoner inside the Matrix, and perhaps also that his greatest dread is mental captivity.
A prison for your mind.
The Matrix paints waking up to the truth as a confrontational act.
You have a problem with authority, Mr. Anderson.
Because the wool pulled over your eyes.
It is the world that has been pulled over your eyes.
In the On Nihilism chapter Neo opens to, Baudrillard calls himself a terrorist, just as the agents refer to Morpheus.
All that we're asking in return is your cooperation in bringing a known terrorist to justice.
The Matrix is summarized for us as a system of control.
What is the Matrix? Control.
It distracts people's minds so it can exploit and enslave their bodies.
In order to change a human being into this.
Metaphorically, this is already true. Are human beings in our society not also exploited for their labor? If the Matrix's portrait is accurate, if this grand spectacle is a subtle, nearly invisible means of control,
that sense that I was sort of losing control over my own choices, over my own attention, over who I was becoming,
then we have to ask ourselves, in our world's Matrix, who profits?
Look at the Koch brothers. That's what they do. They have built a network of influence based on capital. Their worldview is propagated into the world at an unbelievably aggressive rate that has been compounding for decades.
The first movie's emphasis on freedom sends the message that even if it feels like you don't have any choice,
you believe that you are special, that somehow the rules do not apply to you. Obviously, you are mistaken.
this is an illusion. You have more power than you know, because the one thing you have total control over is your mind.
Never had a camera in my head.
Thoughts are free, which is exactly why the Matrix tries so very hard to conquer our thoughts.
Advertising has us chasing cars and clothes, working jobs we hate so we can buy shit we don't need.
Though ignorance seems like bliss, it's only with our eyes wide open that we have any chance of solving the world's big problems and ensuring the continued freedom of the human race.
We can start basing things on human values. We can change from time spent to time well spent.
It's crucial for Neo to believe he's in control of his life.
Do you believe in fate, Neo?
No.
Why not?
Because I don't like the idea that I'm not in control of my life.
The irony is that when he says this, he's still plugged into the Matrix. He doesn't even know what is real, so it's impossible for him to make real decisions. Not understanding reality makes us like babies, incapable of agency or consent.
We accept the reality of the world with which we're presented.
The Matrix uses references to Alice in Wonderland to capture Neo's feeling of being a scared, naive who's unsure what's real as he encounters a strange new world.
I imagine that right now you're feeling a bit like Alice.
At the beginning, Trinity tells Neo to follow the white rabbit, and when he spots this tattoo on a woman's shoulder, he follows the sign and begins his journey in pursuit of the truth. The later red pill, blue pill choice.
You stay in Wonderland, and I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes.
Is similar to Alice encountering a cake labeled Eat Me and a bottle labeled Drink Me, which she has to consume in order to change physically before she can go further. And when he sticks his finger into the mirror, this captures the feeling of going through the looking glass into an alternate plane that discards conventional logic. Neo is also compared to another unsuspecting ingenue whose world is turned inside out, Dorothy of The Wizard of Oz.
It means buckle your seatbelt, Dorothy, because Kansas is going bye-bye.
In addition to a number of John Woo and other Hong Kong action films that influenced the fight scenes, The Matrix channels the vibe of the cyberpunk genre, especially William Gibson's 1984 novel Neuromancer, which also centers on hackers and features a computer network called The Matrix.
The Matrix has its roots in primitive arcade games, said the voiceover.
A term that can also be traced back to the 1969 novel The White Room. Another cyberpunk staple, Ghost in the Shell, has a clear impact on the visuals of The Matrix, and also tells the story of uncovering a world-shattering truth about oneself.
What if a cyberbrain could possibly generate its own ghost, create a soul all by itself? And if it did, just what would be the importance of being human then?
Science fiction writer Philip K. Dick is another big influence on the Matrix's thought.
We are living in a computer-programmed reality, and the only clue we have to it is when some variable is changed.
Deja vu is usually a glitch in the Matrix. It happens when they change something.
In the Matrix, the Wachowskis both came out as trans women, and this has also inspired many to read the story as a parable of gender dysphoria.
Like a splinter in your mind, driving you mad.
There are plenty more film and literary references that can be seen. Jules Verne's 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, Aldous Huxley's The Doors of Persepolis, 2001: A Space Odyssey, Alien, Men in Black, Karate Kid, The Terminator, Strange Days, Dark City, the TV shows Welcome to Paradox,
The technology we developed confronts us.
and Doctor Who.
I deny this reality. The reality is a computation matrix.
In our other Matrix video, we also discussed the allusions to the Christ narrative as to Nebuchadnezzar and the God of Dreams. A clear pattern emerges in the ideas fueling this story. People need a push to think more deeply and seek the truth.
You need to unplug, man.
And if you aren't paying attention to any of this, that probably means you're asleep at the wheel.
Sweet dreams.
It's notable that the machines controlling the Matrix determined that the film's year of release, 1999, was
The peak of civilization.
by framing its own current time as a theoretical golden age after which things would go downhill. The Matrix challenged our expectation of progress. What if the things we assume to be improvements are in fact the opposite?
The short-term dopamine-driven feedback loops that we have created are destroying how society works.
We might think that it sounds nice to free our minds and all, but how can we do that when we've got social and financial responsibilities?
The Matrix is everywhere. When you go to work, when you go to church, when you pay your taxes.
To find out how exactly the movie unpacks what it means to
Free your mind.
you can watch our other Matrix video, A Guide to Freeing Your Mind. But if all this talk of radical unplugging sounds a little extreme or overwhelming, one very manageable and reasonable step we can all take is simply to step back from our image-driven, money-centered daily existences and ask ourselves, am I listening to my own intuition and my own inner voice as I go about my life? Or am I letting be subtly told what to focus on and what to pursue with my time?
You're being subtly manipulated by algorithms that are watching everything you do constantly and then sending you changes in your media feed and your diet to adjust you slightly to the liking of some unseen advertiser.
If the thinkers who inspired The Matrix wanted us to doubt our senses, another way of saying that is to stop taking cues from what's external and pay attention to what's internal.
What does that mean?
The Matrix cannot tell you who you are.
The more you are driven by extrinsic values, the more your intrinsic values are starved, the more likely you are to become depressed and anxious by quite a significant amount.
We're overwhelmed a lot of the time with stimuli. Dazzling ads, sound bites, catastrophic news, panic, fear-mongering, just clamoring for our attention.
How do we consume as much of your time and conscious attention as possible?
But from time to time, it's worth shutting out all of this noise and saving your attention for answers that come from within.
You know something. What you know you can't explain, but you feel it.
They're trying to maximize attention. That's a much deeper question, which is, what do we want in our lives and what is our self-worth actually tied to?
Ask yourself, what would Neo do?
I came here to tell you how it's going to begin.
This video is brought to you by NordVPN, the best VPN out there. It lets you stream your favorite content anywhere.
It's the one on his It's the 14 unknowns.
Define real.
The Matrix meditates on the question, what's real? And how do we know when the tools we use to perceive reality, our senses and our brains, can be deceived?
If you're talking about what you can feel, what you can smell, what you can taste and see, then real is simply electrical signals interpreted by your brain.
This question has fascinated philosophers through the centuries, and if we dig into the 1999 film's many influences and references, it becomes clear that the computer simulation enslaving human minds is really a social critique of an increasingly spectacle-driven, unreal capitalist culture.
You don't realize it, but you are being programmed.
The first movie in the Wachowskis trilogy told viewers to wake up. and question where civilization was heading. And this leads us to ask, the turn of the millennium was losing touch with reality. 20 years later, are we straight up living in the Matrix?
What's happened is that cyberspace has colonized the real world.
They've drilled a hole in the back of our head, and now they've injected the virus, and now we walk around searching for feedback using social media.
This video is brought to you by NordVPN, the best virtual private network out there. Right now, our viewers get a very special deal. Click the link in the description below, nordvpn.com/thetake, to get 75% off a 3-year plan, and enter the code THETAKE to get an extra month of NordVPN for free.
The Matrix is a computer-generated dream world.
The possibility that we could be living in an illusion or simulation which obscures our true reality has appeared through the ages in a diverse array of thought experiments and religious writings. The Hindu religion has the idea that the phenomenal world is an illusion, called Maya, separate from the eternal reality, which is God. Buddhism has a similar concept of elusive reality, samsara, and it sees the goal of enlightenment as freeing ourselves from the suffering of attachment to this plane of life. The Taoist story, Zhuangzi Dreamed He Was a Butterfly, features a dreamer who doesn't know he's himself and not a butterfly.
Have you ever had a dream, Neo, that you were so sure was real?
Gnosticism has the idea of a demiurge, a kind of demigod who created the flawed system in which we find ourselves, while a higher truth exists beyond that structure. The Gnostics also emphasize knowledge as the key to spirituality and paint ignorance as humankind's major obstacle.
Only try to realize the truth.
The philosophy is also shaped by Immanuel Kant's discussion of how the way that we filter reality through tools like language leads to self-deceit and a blindness to the truth.
I think it's a sort of straightforward extrapolation of the sort of stuff we get in Kant, and the idea that the world is, in some way or other, a construction of what's going on in my mind.
Philosopher René Descartes imagined the concept of an evil demon who's intentionally deceiving him. A 20th century update to this, the brain in a vat thought scenario, imagines a brain connected to a supercomputer that simulates reality. In other words, it's pretty much the premise of The Matrix.
How would you know the difference between the dream world and the real world?
The movie is also a perfect illustration of Plato's famous allegory of the cave, in which people are chained inside a cave watching shadows against the wall, thinking that's all there is. When the philosopher manages to get free, facing the light of the sun outside the cave is blinding and painful.
Why my eyes, sir? You've never used them before.
Meanwhile, the people imprisoned in the cave will distrust this freed man and fight to protect this shadow show they believe to be reality.
Most of these people are not ready to be unplugged. And many of them are so inert, so hopelessly dependent on the system, that they will fight to protect it.
In Plato's allegory, it's only the rarest soul that manages to escape. Most believe the highest possible achievement is to be one of the artists in charge of projecting the puppet shows on the wall for the masses.
I don't want to be rich. You know, someone important. Like an actor.
The deepest point of all these thought exercises is to teach us to be skeptical, to distrust our senses.
Born into a prison that you cannot smell or taste or touch.
And to consider that there could be deeper truths and values of the utmost importance which aren't readily apparent in our sensual, materialist surface reality. So why did The Matrix urge us to doubt?
There's something wrong with the world.
1999 was the year of Y2K, when people feared the year 2000 would bring a crippling crash of computers around the globe. The Matrix reckons with humankind's growing dependence on computers and the threat of true AI, issues that have grown far more central to our consciousness since.
AI is a fundamental existential risk for human civilization.
At the dawn of the new millennium, this movie and others seemed unsettled by the increasingly tech-driven, image-conscious, consumerist direction modern society was moving in.
We are consumers. We are byproducts of a lifestyle obsession.
The Matrix and its peers questioned if perhaps we had lost something important without thinking critically enough about what we were signing up for.
Murder, crime, poverty, these things don't concern me. What concerns me
celebrity magazines, television with 500 channels, some guy's name on my underwear.
In Neo's first scene, he retrieves floppy disks with illegal software from a hollowed-out book, Simulacra and Simulation, a postmodern 1981 treatise by Jean Baudrillard, which was required reading for this movie's main cast and crew. A simulacrum is a likeness of an original, and Baudrillard wrote of simulacra which are increasingly divorced from the original, or which never had any original to begin with, a state he called hyperreality.
He appears to hold that reality has disappeared.
Baudrillard compared our media-driven, capitalist, urbanized civilization to living in a map, while the territory the map is supposed to chart fades out of existence.
In Baudrillard's fable, reality exists on shreds that are attached to the map.
Only small vestiges of reality remain in what he called
the desert of the real.
Our culture is interacting with empty images and symbols. We've gotten so far away from reality, we wouldn't know it even if we saw it. And if some fragment of the real does exist, most of us probably don't even care.
The real has become irrelevant if undefinable.
Another book that the Wachowskis gave Reeves to read was Kevin Kelly's Out of Control, which looked at how the future of society could increasingly see the artificial replacing the natural. Baudrillard's ideas are also indebted to Guy Debord's 1967 text, The Society of the Spectacle, which describes a beastly spectacle that sounds a lot like The Matrix. Quote, "The spectacle is not a collection of images, but a social relation among people, mediated by images."
We become more and more on the treadmill to the number of likes or feedback we get, basically, from social media, and start tying our own approval, our own self-worth, to how much attention we get from other people.
He says the spectacle is the nightmare of imprisoned modern society, which ultimately expresses nothing more than its desire to sleep.
I go back to sleep, and when I wake up, I don't remember a goddamn thing.
The power of The Matrix is in taking these social critiques and making them incredibly literal.
I have these memories from my life. None of them happened.
Neo's feelings of dissatisfaction, alienation, and unreality are exactly the responses that these theorists describe plaguing citizens of modern spectacular society.
You ever have that feeling where you're not sure if you're awake or still dreaming?
And if all this felt very relevant in 1999, in 2019, it's more convincing than ever to argue we are living in a matrix of our own making, a collective dream world in which the reality behind the simulation holds less and less weight.
Because we get rewarded in these short-term signals, hearts, likes, thumbs up, and we conflate that with value and we conflate it with truth.
The social media post means more than the private experience.
I already got 17 likes on my latest Instagram. All my peeps are bugging out because now they know what my meal looked like.
And intangible corporations have as many or more rights than people.
There are certain judges who are alleging that somehow corporations have the same rights as citizens.
Citizens of advanced, hyper-capitalist societies are disconnected from who's growing our food or making our clothes.
Don't you think the people buying these panties would feel weird if they knew a bunch of villains made them?
The shared fictions of digits on screens determine the futures of societies.
People ride around on bikes sponsored by banks. The internet's more important than real life. Welcome to the future.
Yet, as far as we know, this isn't some trick computer simulation, even if Elon Musk disagrees.
The odds that we're in base reality is 1 in billions.
It's a state of affairs that, step by step, our culture has openly chosen.
People are following you, so we should count them. We should put that count right on your profile page, and obviously people care about that, so we should make it big.
We're well aware we live in a world in which people care less than ever about the truth.
Alternative facts are not facts. They're falsehoods.
Cypher's storyline about desiring to go back to the Matrix even though he knows it's an illusion
Get my body back in a power plant. Reinsert me into the Matrix.
closely resembles Robert Nozick's 1974 thought experiment, the experience machine. It imagines a machine that simulates pleasurable experiences
I know this state doesn't exist.
and asks whether people would trade their actual lives to plug into this machine.
I know that when I put it in my mouth, the Matrix is telling my brain that it is juicy and delicious.
As material comforts get ever more seductive and unreal images ever more dazzling, the sensory experience you can enjoy in a wealthy Western society today is hyper-real, arguably better than reality.
Reality's not going to be enough for her now.
So CaeFoo might say, what's the problem?
Ignorance is bliss.
Why cling to that old dying desert you once called the real?
I choose the Matrix.
Nozick argued we shouldn't plug into his pleasure machine. Why? Because it matters to really do things, not just think you have. To be a certain kind of person, and not to limit ourselves to only those realities our rational minds, or the computers we've invented, can contrive for us.
Nozick says this is just one of our fundamental concerns, that not just that we live a happy life, but that we live a real life, that we be in touch with truth.
So, stepping back for a minute from our Matrix-like world today, we have to ask if we aren't all making CaeFoo's mistake, being so seduced by the taste of a juicy steak that we throw away the best things we have, our human values and our freedom.
Their goals of engaging us the most by having us care about likes become our goals. Wake up in the morning as sovereign human beings, and we start caring about the number of likes we got, as if that's our goal in life.
The Matrix is a war of ideas, and what's at stake is the soul of our modern society. The age-old dualities of Western culture battle it out: emotion versus logic, chaos versus order, spirituality versus science, free will versus destiny. The machines are the cold, materialistic determinists, striving to control the irrational nature of humans, represented by the Resistance. Before Neo is freed from the Matrix, he's presented with a series of choices that contain the same duality: freedom through truth or slavery through ignorance. His very last line in the movie again highlights choice.
Where we is a choice I leave to you.
This focus on freedom and choice is so relevant because systems of power, like the machines in the Matrix, benefit from making us believe freedom is not an option.
Either you choose to be at your desk on time from this day forth, or you choose to find yourself another job.
When we meet Neo, he's living in room 101. The number alludes to his nature as the One, and in binary is the number 5, foreshadowing the discovery that Neo will be the 6th incarnation of the One. But most strikingly, it's a reference to the torture room in George Orwell's dystopia 1984, used to make citizens conform by subjecting them to their worst fear.
That was in the other one. So, just. We are like the woman in the red dress. Just because you married a rich woman, you can tell you what you want. So never get too attached. Alright, kids. Hopefully this one don't get deported. We shall see. But yeah. Y'all be Gucci out.